Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they're pretending to be someone they're not. You don't need better ideas. You don't need more motivation. And you definitely don't need permission. What you actually need is honesty with yourself. Stop trying to sound like an expert before you've lived the process. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to start, and stop thinking money is the problem. It's not. If you're in your late 20s or early 30s and feel stuck, overwhelmed, or invisible, this conversation might be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. One of the best things about Daily V is that the camera is always rolling. Some moments are clearly meant for the show, but every once in a while, something happens that deserves to stand on its own. Hat you're about to watch is one of those moments. Tease a longer clip, but the advice here is something a huge portion of my audience truly needs. If you're in your late 20s or early 30s, this conversation might hit closer to home than you expect. T32, you're at a critical point in life. Instead of obsessing over every small move, give yourself a few years to fully commit, to work, to create, to experiment, and really see what that feels like. One of the biggest reasons this approach works for me is that I don't obsess over the micro details. I think long-term. I think about the bigger picture. Here's a reminder I once saw that stopped me in my tracks. Live your life as if people were speaking about you at your funeral. You focus on doing the right thing, on showing up for people, on creating real value. Money has a strange way of finding you anyway. Some of my biggest financial wins came from simply caring about people, building genuine relationships, and being in the right rooms because of it. The real struggle most people have isn't lack of talent or opportunity. T's honesty with themselves. Here's a huge difference between knowing who you truly are and chasing who you wish you were. You genuinely understand yourself. Everything becomes easier. Your goals get clearer. Your decisions get calmer. And your confidence becomes real. So ask yourself honestly, what do you actually want your life to look like? Not what sounds impressive, not what looks good on social media, but what truly matters to you. Here's the biggest mistake people make when they want to inspire or lead. They oversell themselves. They think they need to sound smarter, more successful, or more put together to earn attention. In reality, the opposite works better. Instead of giving advice like you've already made it, talk about your journey while you're building. Share the process, the confusion, the lessons you're learning in real time. Authenticity isn't a buzzword. It's the reason people trust you. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with honesty. Another hard truth. Money isn't the real problem for most people. Today, funding exists everywhere. Crowdfunding, angel investors, platforms that didn't exist a generation ago. The real issue is clarity. If someone gave you money tomorrow, would you know exactly what they're investing in? Attention alone isn't a business. Content alone isn't a business. You need a clear container, a product, a platform, a system, something people can actually buy into. Nobody invests in potential without structure. And when it comes to content, stop waiting for the perfect idea. Document your life instead of trying to create something deep. Every time. You don't need fancy production. You don't need perfect words. You need to start. If you can't create today, distribute. If you can't speak, facilitate. If you don't feel inspired, let someone else's story shine. There is no excuse to stay silent. Consistency matters more than motivation. Self-care is important, but so is discipline. Nobody becomes respected by disappearing for weeks at a time. The people you admire didn't get there by accident. They showed up again and again, especially when they didn't feel like it. Before you build a team, build yourself. Before you scale, prove consistency. Ideas mean nothing without execution. If you commit to showing up daily, creating regularly, and telling real stories, everything else will start to align. Opportunities, partnerships, even money. If you watched this entire video, I'd love to hear one thing. What was the single biggest takeaway for you? Leave a detailed comment. There's something powerful here that deserves to be expanded, and your insight might help someone else who's stuck finally move.